Right, so today we're going to be talking about my journey as a personal trainer, going from not knowing anything as a 17-year-old and now near on a decade later having a fully fledged business where I help hundreds of people every year getting amazing transformations, achieve great things, and we've got a fantastic community. So I want this kind of episode to be my story of how I got into it, the challenges I face. It's not going to be like a business money making thing. I might drop a few things in there about it, but it's just going to be how I got into it, and again, challenges, the story of where I am now. So yeah. Anyway, welcome to the Tom Gilbert Show, the first official episode. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is just a podcast where I want to, because this has been the first episode, I want to share my life lessons as I continue to grow and better myself. So hopefully it gives people kind of, some bit of education to help in their own lives, a bit of entertainment, or a bit of both. So yeah, let's get into it. So to start off, in terms of my personal training journey, we have to go right back. Not back to when I was born, but we're going back to secondary school. We're going back to, when I was probably about 14, 15, in that kind of early teens, I was like a big gamer, all at like the laptop. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'll throw up some photos. Spotify, if you want to see the photos, head over to YouTube. But you can imagine, like, now I'm 6'3", but when I was like pre-puberty, before my growth spurt, I was the same weight at 5'3" as I was at like when I hit like 6 foot. I had like a big like 40-inch waist, long hair down to my shoulders, big centre parting, still a big head, but like my cheeks were like bigger than my head pretty much. We'll see if I can hopefully find some photos of this. And the most like that, you'd look at me as a kid and it'd be like, he is not into fitness whatsoever. Like, I did like quite a few things growing up. Like, I was very fortunate with like sports and stuff, but parents pushed me to do things. But it got to that kind of early teens, it was just like gaming, sitting on a PlayStation. I would build PCs, play just computers all the time, and I never really got into any fitness. I didn't really have much confidence in myself, to be honest. I was quite shy, which is very different to what this all is now. This is years, all this talking on social media and content and stuff like that. This is like years of just like putting myself in front of a camera. My first few videos were not confident at all. Still learning though. This is what it's all about. And so I hit puberty, and I realized that my shape had completely changed. I'd gone from like 44-inch waist. I just ate a lot of food. I didn't really know I was getting fat. I just ate a lot of food. My parents tried to help me with weight loss or anything like that, but I didn't really understand it. So I hit puberty, and then I just shot up, and I was now this string bean. I had a bit of abs coming through. I could see a bit of shape to me. Again, I'll throw some photos up, and I started developing a little bit more confidence now, because people did start to notice that a bit. Oh, Tom, what have you done? I was like, I have literally done fuck all. I have gone through puberty and done nothing. I was like before puberty, I used to think like watching TV made you fat. I'd like walk into the living room and be like, no, don't look at the TV, because I would be there thinking, oh, I'm gonna get fat watching it, because I got to a point where I was feeling like self-conscious about myself. But then, like I said, I hit puberty, and it just changed. I was just like, it felt like overnight, but obviously it wasn't. It was over. This is over maybe 5 months, I think. I just grew, and yeah, then from there, I was like starting to feel more confident about myself. This is probably about 15 now. Girls would give me attention, stuff like that, and then that was a big thing. Going to the beach, top off. I didn't used to like taking my top off. So I started becoming more social. So gaming started changing for like these socializing and stuff like that, and it all felt really good. And then the school I was at, so 15, now coming to 16, this would be like the end of GCSEs. I was getting more female attention, loving it, and then summer was fast approaching. At this time, I think I started like running, doing some press ups. I had like a pull up bar, some like bicep curls and stuff like that. But then my school, when I went back for, I think it was my A-levels, first year of A-levels, they built a gym. So started trying that out. There's a few friends of us started going to it, and got really, really into this gym training. It was like, we go do like chest, shoulders, the typical stuff. There's the typical story. Do like chest one day, back one day, then you maybe do legs, and then you do like delts, and you do arms, abs, and you repeat that cycle on a 5-day thing. So I started like really getting into that, learning that. This is at 16. I started doing like more running as well. And my dad pushed me and my friend at the time into the Marine Reserves. So we did our phase 1 of training. That really like made me grow up, because we were both 17 at the time, me and my friend. And we were then around these guys who were like late 20s, 30s, 40s, in pretty much doing military. We were doing military training, where we would go away for weekends, do a bunch of evenings here and there, with just getting absolutely bad, no sleep, just getting the shit drilled into us. Like, just really had to grow up in that, and that really taught me a lot about phys, about mental kind of strength and everything like that. And it made me, I had to act older than 17 because I had to be professional, and that was a big kind of key step to me being a lot more confident in myself, because I was like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this running. I can carry this 100 kg bloke along my shoulders on the field. I passed my phase 1. I didn't carry on with it because I had like A levels education and stuff like that, so I wasn't able to continue. But at this time, the school had the gym, and then I had a mess up with my, not mess up with my A levels. I hated the choices that I made at the start of my first year of A levels. So I ended up doing 3 years. I did a first year. I dropped 3 of the subjects, and then I ended up picking up sport and science. And then from there, I'd already been training in the gym for about 1.5 years now, teaching myself stuff. So sport and PE was like easy. I just walked through it, and I got distinction stars across it. It was very, very, very easy. And this is all self-taught stuff. Social media, YouTube, watching countless hours of YouTube. Because obviously I was like a gamer. I was big into the YouTube space, and I'd made a few YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I started, all the stuff I was learning was really easy for me to apply. So I was then just flying through this stuff. I went to the gym that we train at school now, and I just said to the lady behind the desk, I was just there thinking one time, have you got, you hiring, you got any jobs? And it was actually, they were hiring, and I got a gym instructor role there. They paid for me to do my gym instructor course, which was fantastic, because I didn't know about any of this. They just paid for me to do it because they needed me to have that relevant qualification to do it. They needed a gym instructor, and that got me in. That got me into now working in the gym. I was working in the gym. I was training at school. I was still doing A levels. I was still training there, but now I started working there. So I was starting to speak to people in the gym. I had this gym instructor thing. I could do inductions, little bits of training people, but I wasn't at PT yet. And because obviously they paid for it, it was at this point right now. I'd gone through. I was maybe coming into. So I did my third year of A levels. So I was 18. So that was in my second one, going into my third, 18. And now I'd been like, all right, I'm in this gym. So I then funded, and I can't remember if they maybe half funded. I then my level 3. So I did my PT qualification, because I was thinking, well, I've got my level 2. I can do these inductions. And I think the gym at this point, they wanted someone to PT there a little bit more. So it's really difficult to remember back to it. But I'm pretty sure I funded half, they funded half, or maybe I funded it all. Anyway, I did my level 3. So I did at 17 to 18, I then did my level 3 PT, which is then the qualification in the UK that allows you then to PT. You can get insurance, you're qualified, you can PT anyway, but it's the qualification that allows you to get insurance, and most gyms won't allow you to have it. So then I got that. So then from there, it's like, right, I'm getting paid from the gym, so I'm not really thinking about doing it for money, because I was just really enjoying health and fitness, loving it. Seeing the changes in my physique, people starting to notice it, and I was giving my friends advice and stuff like that, little plans and everything. It's just, as just like maybe sending them a plan on a text, learning more about nutrition, literally just winging it. Got my qualification, and it's like, right, now I need to train people. I'm loving training myself. I'm loving how it's making me feel. So started training people, and this is like near on 10 years ago. So from there, I just like offering free sessions to everyone in the gym. Everyone. I would literally just, anyone who's coming in or anyone who's in the gym, I'm talking to them, showing them things. I'm literally at this point, I am making shit up. I'm just like guessing things, learning. Like, does this work? Does this work? And it was just like, I look back at some of the stuff that I used to do and some of my old videos and everything like that, and it's like, wow. That the level 3 PT qualification doesn't teach you much. Like, it's all the learning after. So I'm there just like winging it with these people and building these relationships. Obviously at this point I know more than these people, so I can help them, but obviously not as much as I know now. So I'm just like offering these sessions just for free. Then I get them in, and I think I started charging. It was like £8 or £9 an hour, because like that was what I think I was getting paid at this gym. So I was like, oh yeah, just £8 or £9 an hour, just the same as I'm getting paid there. I do like my block bookings would work out at like, it'd be 10 sessions for 80 quid, so it'd be like £8 an hour, and I was like, yeah, someone would give me 80 quid to do 10 hours with them, and I was absolutely loving it. It was just all like, so I was the only PT there at this gym, because it was just a school gym, so members of the public could come in the evening and the weekends. I eventually got to a position where I was managing it, so I was pretty much like at the bottleneck. Like, I was the only PT there. It was someone else who came in, but they left. That's when I ended up managing it. So I'm at the bottleneck. I'm the only PT there. And there's a couple hundred members that would come through, each month. So if anyone needed a PT, they had to come to TG PT. And at that point, I was Tom Gilbert Fitness. And so from there, I was just becoming experienced, just coaching everyone and anyone about anything. I probably took on some people I maybe shouldn't have took on, okay, but I learned things. I learned some amazing things. I learned to work with literally everyone I can kind of think of, and I now am position. I'm so glad I did that, because I feel confident working with anyone now. Didn't matter on like age or anything. I was only 18 at this point. I was like taking on people that were like, my parents' age. They were paying me for my advice, and I'm just there like, winging shit. But I'm just wanting to get them moving. I'm giving them some basic diet advice, basic plans, sending them it on like not PDF, like a spreadsheet or a Word document. And it was good times, just literally faking it till I made it. Didn't have any structure. It just had a price plan, sessions if people wanted to do it. Had no sales pitch or anything like that. Nothing. It was just like, I will PT you, cash in hand, turn up for a session. That was it, and we did it. And I did that for a few years. That kind of setup, and then finding my footing, gradually learning it. Prices were gradually starting to going up. And it got. I think while at that gym, I eventually got up to like £25 an hour, okay, for some people. I had a lot of people who may be on like more loyalty rates that have been with me for a while, but I built a real good clientele there, and this is just from like working with anyone, taking them all on. Again, I was very fortunate. I was at the bottleneck of this gym. I was getting paid a salary from this gym, so I didn't really have to worry about money there. I was still living at home with parents, so definitely didn't need to worry about money, but it was just all working quite nicely. I'd finished my A-levels, got my distinction stars, didn't really care about A-levels. I then spent a year just working. I was going to I pushed uni back. I just did a year of just working in the gym. I was in the gym like 40 hours a week, mixture of doing my shifts, doing my PTing, earning. I think at the start, I'd have to get my books up. But first few months, I'd earn like a couple hundred quid in a month, a couple hundred quid here and there. And that would be on top of my salary. So I'll be like, yeah, all this extra money that I've got is like, just going on nights out or anything like that. That's what it was. I'd just be my like kind of at that time my fuck you money. So that was fun. I was like realizing that I had a service to provide for people. I was actually helping people and impacting lives. So that just grew. I didn't really have much structure. It started bringing in things like, more structure to like a consultation, more structure to the service, more of a program design for people. As I was learning, as I was trying new styles of training, I bring new things on for people. I started, venturing into classes and stuff. Again, that was good, because that was a good way to kind of, I found, as a lower barrier to entry, so people would come in and pay a £5 for a class, and then I could upsell them to PT. I was like, okay, I've got a bit of a tiered system here. So I've got my premium PT, then I was doing a bit of online coaching with them as well, check-ins and stuff like that. Anytime I wanted to kind of bring something like a new strand of business in, I wouldn't charge for it. I would take some of, let's say I wanted to try online coaching, I'd take some of my best clients. I would then right, I need to try this online coaching stuff. I need you to do this. I'm not going to charge you for it, okay? And I'm just going to see if it works. And then I'd prove the concept works, and then I would start charging a little bit for it, and then I'd gradually increase the prices until I was happy for it. And I still have that process today. There's just a bit more structure to it. I give it for free, and then gradually build it up until I'm happy to charge for it. So I've just rinsed and repeated that process over years to build to where I am now. So I had the classes, brought all that in, and that again exposed me to working with loads of people, way more. Like, I'd have a class of like 30, 40 people that I now have to, I'm like a teacher. and then having to kind of control and orchestrate this class, plan this thing. It's not just me and one person having a conversation. I now have a group of 20, 30, 40 people that I have to control. And again, I'm the youngest in the room most of the time. Might have a few students from the school come in, but I'm the youngest in the room 9 times out of 10. So I've got all these people coming and paying me. I'm there like getting, £3 to £5 from them. I'm like, I'm making £100 an hour. Wee. Fucking loving it. I've got my little cash box. I think I've still got it behind me. And I'd be like, this is fantastic. And then some of them would want PT. Some of my PT clients would come do the classes. I'd give them discount. And I just was building this kind of community of and again, it was very fortunate the situation I was in, the place I was at. I was still the only PT there. I was at the bottleneck of it all. And I built this up, this group of people, my clients. And this carried on from all the way, this momentum carried on all the way until lockdown, March of lockdown. And that, which was annoying because what was that? Start of 2020, I was like I started earning more than my salary. I was like, no way. It's like, this is like 5 years in or something like that. I started earning more than my salary, or nearly 6 years in, I started earning more than my salary or matching it. I was like, yes. I'm like doubled my money. I'm like, this is great. Like looking at the books, and then lockdown, I was like, all right, well, it's only going to be 2 to 4 weeks. So I did nothing over the first lockdown, nothing. And because I thought it was going to be a few weeks, I said to my clients, a few weeks, gym's going to be shut. At this time, I'll just make sure I catch the sessions up. But obviously it ended up being a lot more than that. So I did no PT, I had no plan, no structure, nothing. Just nothing happened with my clients. No money coming in. I had a furlough from my job, and I was just there like, well, this is the end of PTing. I was in a weird rut, weird headspace with that, and it was just like, well, what do I do now? I was like, do I carry on PTing after this? Like, how long is this furlough going to go on for? Do I just start like fucking doing bricklaying or something? Do I think of doing something else? I had no clue. But luckily I still had the furlough with all of this. And before, I've kind of skipped a stage. I'm going to go back a little bit. When I did that year of work after uni, after A-levels, I did go to uni. I did go to do a business degree. I was like, all right, I'm loving this fitness stuff, but I need to take it further, so I'll do a business degree. Did business management. It was shit. I hated it. Dropped after the first year. So I was like, well, I really like this fitness stuff. So I started an S&C degree. This was the year before lockdown. This was 2019. So I had now had my job. I had my PT job, the gym management job, and I was also now at uni. Luckily, I worked evenings, so I could do uni in the day. So I was now doing an S&C degree, which was now further expanding my knowledge. I'll do like a podcast on my whole experience with uni, because that's another thing I want to talk about. So at uni, learning S&C, that's building my knowledge and confidence. I feel like I already had some good momentum with it. I was one of the only people, I think I was the only person on all the courses that were relevant that actually had a business already. I'd been doing it years already, so that helped, obviously. So I had that at the time. But then obviously the lockdowns, etc. And it was at that point I was doing uni over lockdown, and I was like, well, I can't do my business anymore. None of it's working. None of it's going anywhere. Like I have no clients at the moment. I have no money coming in apart from this furlough. And I was like, well, what am I going to do after? And luckily, through uni, I got like wind of another job offering, like a place to work at. It was at the gym group. I found out through some people. So post lockdown, go for an interview, get the role, and they're like, right, when the gym opens, we'll give you a position there. So I'm there like messaging all my clients, getting coming out the fucking dust. I'm like, right guys, how's it all going? Hope lockdown's treated you well. You've probably all gained weight. I know I have. I look like shit in lockdown. My fitness went to shit. I think I trained like less than 10 times in that first lockdown. I was depressed. It was horrible. That was the word. That's the longest I've ever had off training in like the last year. Was that first lockdown was awful. So I know what it was like to be hit by it. So I then I landed this position in this job in the gym group. So that was like August 2020. So I was like messaging all my clients and all the people that I kind of knew. And I was like, guys, I'm going to be PTing down here now. Come on down. All my old clients, they all came back. I got some new clients as well because they wanted to come move to this gym. And luckily it wasn't far from the gym I was currently working at. So I still had this furlough, but the gym group opened up earlier than my gym when we're back. I think I was at the gym group for like 2 months before my gym opened. So I had 2 months where I was getting furloughed, and I was also at this other job starting to make self-employment money. So I had all these clients come back, And I was like, right, this needs to work. So all my clients coming back, and because it was a much bigger gym, it was 10 times the size of clientele than my other gym. I was instantly within, I think the first month, I think I made like £800-900. This is straight after furlough, and then after that, I was like earning more than my salary and my previous stuff, and that combined, and I've continued to be there, like up there since. And I was like, and that is at this point, my old gym had reopened, and they're like, right, Tom, are you coming back? And I'm like, I was just there thinking to myself, if I go back to that place, I'm limited because I have to work a salary, work hours, and I'm limited on clientele. It's like I'm already at this new gym where I'm tripling, nearly quadrupling, way past that now, like money. And I was there like, and I'm working with more people, and I'm loving it. I need to take this risk. So I did. So I didn't go back. They paid me furlough, and I never actually went back. I don't know if there's a rule or broken there, but I never went back. And I went back and did a few shifts, got the new person on, and then like, right, see you later. It was fuck all I did, really. But I just knew I had to take that step because I knew I'd been at this other place for so long. It was still my school that I was at, and I was like, right, I need to take this leap because if not now, it's like, what's going to happen? Like the job before, yeah, security, I had a salary. I was like, no, I need to go at this because I want to really double down on this PT stuff. And then from there, I was earning more. I hired a business coach, which then just 10x'd everything from there. My structure, my systems, if everything business wise, I was really, because I've done my degree now, I've been coaching for like 7 years now. I was really good coaching wise. I was really confident coaching wise and plans and structures, confident with people. And then I hired this business coach that I worked with for another 3 years who just helped me with the back end, the structure and money, just really making it a business, turn me into a CEO to help me just work with more people, take on more people, structure my systems and everything like that. And that just made it just like real for me. So I really that leap of faith that I took did pay off, because working with that wouldn't have worked with that coach, because I would have just been like, I don't need it, I'm just stuck here. But I was like, I think because I had that scarcity, I was like, I worked with this coach, and it just like, our business just flew. I'm now at a point where I work with hundreds of people every single year, around the world, changing lives, impacting lives, all from then just taking that step. I came away from security where I had a salary, I had a set number of clients, I knew I'd be earning a set amount there, to a point where I was like, oh, well, I only earn money now if I work. Like, I only earn money if I'm going to bring in more clients. So that was a huge step for me. And then from there, the business has just grown, working with my business coach, building it and scaling the business, becoming more confident in myself, working with more people, applying my S&C degree, working with athletes, helping people change their lives all through health and fitness. And this all started from me going through puberty, starting to feel confident in myself again. It's that whole butterfly effect thing, really. I was at that time, 15, 16-year-old Tom, started feeling confident with himself, wanted to go to the gym because he's getting attention. That's what all his friends started doing. And it's now snowballed into the point where I help hundreds of people every single year feel as I do through health and fitness, impact lives, change lives, have a business for myself that allows me to, live a life that I enjoy. And it's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And there's been ups and downs along the way. Lockdown, I was unsure if I was ever going to do this. Okay, I was taking those leaps of, bringing on new people, bringing on new clients, or trying new things, trial and error, see if it works. There's so many things that just didn't work. Like I said, I started off coaching it at like £8 an hour. If I did that now, I'd got a business like that. So it's been a process. Like I said, we're coming on nearly a decade. When I turn 27, it'll be a decade of pretty much doing this, because that's when I got my level 2. So when I was 17. So this whole process, there's ups, downs, there's left, rights, there's periods of where I just wanted to stop. There's constant anxiety. I'm gonna talk about my anxiety with that. I'll have an episode on anxiety. But and here we are. We are aiming. We're aiming for the moon, and it's just snowballing. We just keep going with it. And it all started with just like, I just enjoyed health and fitness. And I wanted other people to feel what I felt through the gym, and didn't think of it being a business. I started because I enjoyed it. I had my salary and stuff like that. I didn't think it was going to be a big thing going forward. I didn't think I'd continue to do it. But like I said, we're now here, established TGPT, taking over a couple hundreds of people every year, soon to be, thousands of people every year, and it's been a lovely process. But I'm sure over future episodes I will expand on that further. But that's kind of been not a brief-ish summary of my PT career and the turns and everything that's taken to where we are now, where I've got my face-to-face coaching, an established online program, challenges throughout the year, got an application. It's fantastic. I love it. I love everyone I work with, and can't wait to see where it goes. So yeah, hopefully that maybe gave you guys something to think about. Who knows? But if you enjoyed it, 5-star this podcast, subscribe, like, comment, all the stuff depending on where you are watching or listening to this. We are on YouTube and on Spotify. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next installation of the Tom Gilbert Show. Peace out.